Welcome back to Money Monday with yours truly, HRT Rich over on X. To my left on the screen, but to my right in real life is Mr. Terry Hollywood. Hey, how was your weekend, sir?
Oh, it's good. We had a lot of relatives come by and had a nice time yesterday with my daughter, my sister. It was fun, yeah. And we went to a reception. My my one of my nephews got married. We went to their reception, and that was fun.
Oh, sounds like a good time. I went to a horse racing tournament and kept having my horses finish second. And then, sometimes you just forget the obvious, right? The last race at Churchill, I went through all the notes and said, well, really no standout here. So I'm going to take the long shots that have a chance to win. Of course, they won.
Yeah.
And I didn't box it. The trifecta for 50 cents paid like $980. If I had boxed my 4 horses, I would have been in contention right then and there and been able to just go crazy on win bets and had an 11-1 hit on top, but I had an exacta. And of course, my second place horse ran third. So just one of those days where kind of reminded me, I went to go play golf, Terry. I think I left 8 putts that short of going.
Wow. Well, Saturday GTS did a great job. And of course, you do all that work over there for Churchill. If you took the last 6 races and used the top 2 horses, I think this is how it goes for the last 5, and then the top 3 for the 6th race, you would have hit the pick 4, pick 5, and pick 6.
Nice. Well, would have been a good day to go do that, Terry. And for Saturday, what was I doing Saturday? I think I was long night, early morning. I think I actually fell asleep in the afternoon on Saturday. Old man needs a little bit of rest sometimes.
That's
Much
right.
love to Adelina Suarez as well from us. Thank you for joining us, Adelina. Hopefully you had a great weekend too. Hopefully we have a great day today at Parx. Hopefully we have another great day today at Mountaineer tonight. The West Virginia track is the free check, a guaranteed tip sheet. There is a link in the description below. Kindly use that so they know where you're coming from. And you'll see in the opening race there, we have a 3-1. Just Murphy with W. Ho. We've had him on as a guest in our old Horse Center shows. You can Google them on our YouTube channel. If you haven't done so yet, wherever you're watching, kindly hit the subscribe button. You know the routine. That's the what is that like? The given part of a geometry question. You got to do it, folks. And then when the show is over, we'll go ahead and post all of our commentary over on horseracingtoday.net. Again, there's a link in the description below. Hopefully you followed some of our international racing on the weekend too. Tom and I had some nice winners. And then finally, the last piece of self-promotion, HRT gear right there in the menu. Click on that. Get yourself a great number 1 hat or a great number 3 hat. If you have baby blues like Terry, it'll all match, right? Permission to play with. I'm from Venezuela. All right, well, we're going to give you some information in a little bit. Good morning, William from Alberta. So we have him from Alberta, Canada, from Venezuela. All right. My app or WhatsApp, or add my app or WhatsApp. Well, we can just watch. We're going to get through it right now. Ready, Terry? Race number 1 at Parx. What are our conditions?
All right. Well, in race number 1, we're going to start off at 1 mile and 70 yards. It's a claiming race. It's $5,000 claiming price, purse $18,000 for fillies and mares 3-year-olds and upward, which have not won a race since January 1st.
You speak Spanish. Okay. It's all right. The numbers, el números, are easy to follow. Hello, sir. How are you, Thanos? Uh-oh. We're both still here, so we're the good guys, I guess. All right, at 1 mile and 70 yards, Terry, what you're looking for in terms of profile of a winner is some early speed, 41%, a big number. Win wire to wire. There is a rail discount for Sirenetta. 2 and 3 get a bonus. 4 through 7, a small discount. 8 and up, a bonus, Mr. Terry. So we also do 10,000 simulations around here. Looking at the first race, got to get to the right spot here, Terry. Got us all confused because too many races today. All right, hold on a second. Race 1. Based upon our simulations there, Terry, we want to know who's got the best chance to be on the lead. And then with using our calculated or expected pace, which horses are going to get races that match their best performances. So putting them in their comfort zone. We also want to project out speed figures to see how many times the horse runs a speed figure at par or better. In this case, 75 is the speed number on average that wins at these conditions. And then again, looking for some value. We want our simulation odds to be lower than post-time odds. Terry, who's going to be the one they all got to catch?
Well, the 7 and the 2 show the most speed, and they're pretty close to each other, so they should go head to head to that quarter pole. That one's got an overlay from 4-1 to 6-1, and the 7 has an overlay from 7-2 to 5-1. And then the 4 and the 7 show the only par plus numbers, and then the comfort zones, all but the 3 and 6, especially that 1, have good C zone numbers.
Yes, indeed, and along with our projections, we do pace handicapping. We'll do that for your dad right there, my friend, Jay Annette. We'll be glad to do that. I don't understand much English because I'm Latina. I understand. And unfortunately, we would like someone who habla español to join us. I don't know how to say join us. So perhaps Adelina, if you'd like to be a part and do the Spanish, we'd greatly appreciate that. You can reach me at HRT Rich on Twitter, and we can talk about that because we could definitely use a Spanish speaker. In this race, Terry, 2 want to be on the front, 1 in the middle, 3 on the back, so kind of a balanced race in here for sure. So we look at our early pace numbers. We'll see that at the beginning of the race, it does look like Canoodle and She Got Game, along with Anna Rocks, Bid Bat and Bougie. They're all pretty close in there. Our late speed numbers belong to number 1, Serenetta. Every 5 points equals about 1 length. So that one's about a length and a half faster than everybody, but more than 3 lengths off the back. So really going to have to work hard to get to the front. She Got Game and Anna Rocks are our top 2 total pace horses. They're well above everybody else, Terry. Maybe one of those 2 is your winner.
Well, I like Anna Rocks, the 4. She ran second versus similar in her last race. She has the highest last race speed rating, and she has a high percentage winning jockey. Then I like the 6 Canoodle. She switches to high percentage winning trainer, who has 31% of the races in the first race after claiming a horse, and she has a high percentage winning jockey. Then I like number 2, A Bit Bad Bougie. She drops in class today, and her early running speed running style helps her chances. I like the 1 as my long shot. She drops in class today. The distance will not be a problem, and she has a high percentage winning trainer. We have a $100 budget each day, and we bet $2 to win on our top choice, and then a $1 exacta box on our top 2 choices, a 50-cent trifecta box on our first top 3 choices, and a 10-cent superfecta box on our first 4 choices, which means that we bet $8.40 a race. And today there's 10 races. So that's $84, leaves us around $16 to bet on any race other than our normal bets.
It's going to the track with Ben Franklin, as I call it. And for me, in the first race, I'm going to start off with a little bit of a shot right away. I'm going to go with Canoodle. This one is first off the claim for trainer Jamie Ness, who rocks at Parx. And since he's joined the Jamie Barn, already has a bullet workout. The 4 horses next for me, that's Anna Rocks, did run the top last race speed figure. It was 10 points clear of the next closest horse. Man, my issue is this one doesn't really win at Parx very much, though. It's been there 7 times, only has a second to show for it. Number 7, She Got Game. This one should be a part of the early pace here, Terry, as we saw. And again, 4 out of 10 go wire to wire. Serenetta is a class dropper that has some exceptional late speed at times. So if the fast ones up front burn out, that should be the one that takes the place there. I want to win. Yesterday I lost. I play for real bets. But we don't want you to lose either, Adelina. We want you to win as well, as do we. Hopefully you watched our weekend show, hit a nice couple of trifectas at the Cur with our picks. Let's see, how long do we have to race number 1, Terry?
Oh, we have 9 minutes.
So we have plenty of time to go off to race number 2. So let's go to race 2. Terry, what are our conditions here?
It's a mile and 16th claiming race, $5,000 claiming price, purse $18,000 for 3-year-olds and upwards, which have not won a race since January 1st.
On a mile and a 16th, the way you find the winner circle is, again, be fast. In fact, more than 4 out of 10 go gate to wire. Big time rail bonus for Zip It Up Scotty. 2 and 7 play fair outside of penalty. So it looks like the closer you are to the rail, the better off you are. So if you're on the inside and you're fast, Terry, you got a good chance. And it sure looks like one of them is on the inside and is fast.
It sure is. It's got lots of speed there, as you can see by the data. So it should get to that quarter pole first. And that 5 has an overlay of about almost 5-1 to 15-1. And the 7 has a very small overlay from 8-5 to 2-1. And then the 7 shows the only par plus number. And then all but the 2 and 3 have C zones.
And then as far as our trip handicapping, we're looking at this. The one horse, your lone E, look out. Those lone E's get to the lead. They can be dangerous. Everybody else wants to close. Does Zip It Up Scotty live up to that early pace? Yes, indeed it does. That one's 2 lengths faster than anybody else. So it should get to the lead just as long as the jockey doesn't go crazy with the fractions. It also has the least amount of late speed, but not way off the pace with the rest of these, and certainly should be well ahead of the closers. Our top total pace horse here is the one horse, Zip It Up Scotty. We'll look to zip up this race early on, Terry, and you have him in the back, somebody else in the front.
Yeah, I like number 7, Wizard Surrett. He tried the turf in his last race, but he didn't like it, and now it returns to the dirt where he has won the race before trying the turf, and the distance he can handle. Sensible Jim, the 4 is my second choice, likes Parx Racing, finishing in the money 63% of the time, winning 17% of the races. The distance won't be a problem. He's been in the money 53% of the time at today's distance and won 16% of those. Then I like the 2 as my third choice, drops in class today, has a high percentage winning trainer, and this trainer wins 18% of the races when taking a horse from a turf to the dirt. He has a high percentage winning jockey. Zip It Up Scotty, the 1 is my long shot. He has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey, and the rail post is winning at a 21% clip. We do what's called Miami Vice Don Johnson pick 4s in honor of Don Johnson, one of our viewers. And so today I'm going to do pick 4. I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 with the 4, 5, with the 1, 2, with the 1, 3, 6, 7, 8. That's a $50 ticket.
Race Masters with his analysis for today in there. So when Adelina play the 4th, in which race are you talking about? Race el número 1 or race el número 2, por favor? As far as I'm concerned, Terry, I'm going to go with the one horse. That's my pick here as well. Zip It Up Scotty. I think that rail bonus helps that horse a lot. It's going to get to the lead. I don't think there's any question about that. We've seen many times when a horse has this top C zone here and the top early pace with those high of numbers, a lot of times they get to the front and stay there. Wizard Surrett, that one just reruns back its last race on dirts because it went dirt and then last time out on turf. Should win this race. There's a drop in class as well. Sensible Jim is dropping in class 2, Terry. Lowest level in its last 10 races, was better early. But the barn, the trainer, don't win a whole lot. And then Singing Through the Storm, maybe that last race wasn't as bad as it looks because the horse did manage to run better fractions. I'm going to try to get through these first 2 races with minimal picks. I'm going to go 1, hoping that long shot can hit 7. And then I'm going to single the 5 in the next race. That one will probably be 1 to 5. And then go all and hope that I hit something big in the back end with a nice long shot up front in the front. And that one cost, I think, about $48, something like that. Race number 3. Do we have time for that one, Terry?
I think so. We have 4 minutes.
All right. So let's go ahead and rip through race number 3.
5.5 furlongs, claiming $75,000 or $7,500 claiming price. First, $21,000 for 3-year-olds and upwards, which have not won 3 races.
And 5.5 furlongs, the sort of horse that finds the winner's circle. As you'd imagine, fast. That's going to work. In fact, so fast that 1 out of 2 horses gets to the front and never sees the backside of another horse. Doesn't usually happen from posts 1, 2, and 3 because they're penalized. 4 and 7 get a little bit of a bonus, but the best place to be is on the outside, 8 and out. I don't think that's the case in race number 3, Terry, at all. But again, we find one horse that looks like it's blazing fast on paper.
Yeah, there's 2 or 3 that have speed, all but the 4 does, but that 5 has a lot of speed, and it should get to that quarter pole itself. The 5 also has a small overlay from about, what is that, about 4 to 5 to 6 to 5, something like that. And then the 5 shows the only par plus number, and all but the 4 have C zones.
So short field here, folks. Remember 5-horse race, Stephen Fielder, who wins a lot of those horse racing contests, says in 5-horse fields, you take the longest shot. When the gates open, because most of these horses want to be middle forward. The 4-horse maybe gets a good trip if these 4 go way too fast early. In the beginning, it does certainly look like Navy Rules will be the pace setter, about 3/4 of a length quicker than everybody else. At the end of the race, the lone closer is your closer, about 1.5 lengths faster than everybody down the stretch. So if those 4 go too fast, the 4 are going to be licking his chops, Terry, like a horse that gets peppermint treats. Does look like Navy Rules, 10 points better than the next closest horse. That should mean a 2-length winner, but there is a but there, Terry. I'll tell you what my but is, but you'll tell us why the 5 is going to win.
All right. Well, Navy Rules won his last race by 9 lengths. His best start speed is fastest among today's starters. And he has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. And then the Bluey, the 4, is my second choice. He finished third versus Simmer in his last race, and his best start speed is close to the average winning speed. Number 2, Almond Cider, is my third choice. He ran second in his last race, and he has a high percentage winning jockey. 6, Boom Boom Kaboom, is my long shot. He has early running style, which will help his chances. He can improve while returning to dirt. He drops in class today and has the highest speed figure at today's distance. No additional bets for me in this race.
Well, Navy Rules does have the most upside in this race, and it's probably not even close. But, and here's the but: the horse has been off for 10 months, so does it come off the sidelines rusty? If he's ready, he wins. The workouts say that he is ready. Almond Cider gets a weight break and should also be a part of the early pace if the 5 does falter at all following a little bit of time on the sidelines. And if he gets the lead, remember 50% do go wire to wire. Bluey does have the most late speed by a pretty good margin, as we saw in our pace setup. And if the runners up front go too fast, this one will be collecting them all at the end. And then finally, it was a tough call between the 3, Tough Workout, and the 6-horse, but Boom Boom Kaboom is just more fun to say than Tough Workout. So I put this track dropper in here that can show some early speed as well. And I just wanted to say Boom Boom Kaboom. Race number 1, about to get cooking here. Looks like the 6-horse is the from 10 to 1 down to 4 to 5, Terry.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty crazy, no? No value there, is there, after all?
No.
The 4-horse is 2 to 1. And that's about on odds right there. It looks like the 1-horse is the one that offers the most value right here. At 8 to 1, we had it closer to 4 to 1. So you're getting about twice the odds you should get with the 1-horse. So maybe you put the 1-horse in your exactas or your trifectas, or maybe even as a winner in race number 1. And they're off, and they are running. And you got 1, 2, 3, 4 horses going across the track wide. They're heading down the backstretch there. The 7-horse getting caught 3 wide. The 6-horse did move down to save a little bit of ground as your favorite. 7-horse along with the 6-horse. Those 2 are trying to tone it down a little bit, but the 7 just won't let that happen. He's out there on the run with the 4-horse right in the second spot. We got the 2-horse running in third, about 1.5 lengths off the leaders as they go through the turn. The favorite, the 6-horse, it's down to 1 to 2 now, Terry. Oh, my Lord. That's in fourth, about 4 lengths off. And then you got a gap of about 1 length and 1.5 lengths to the 1-horse and the 5-horse, it looks like. They run down the backstretch. They haven't posted the quarter times yet, but the 7-horse, that's 17 to 1. She Got Game, continuing to be the one that has the most game at the moment. The 4-horse is in the second spot. And then the 2-horse, the 6-horse, the jockey's out on that guy already. He might not be your winner in there, Terry. The 7-horse really been not asked to work yet. So the jockey's kind of peering between his legs. I think he got it, Terry. We'll find out. The 6-horse is going to try to go 3 wide through the turn. That's not the best place to be. It's pretty tough. The 4-horse is moved up alongside the 7-horse. That one might be your winner as it's starting to pull away, although the 7-horse isn't giving in just yet. 6-horse is going to try to go way, way, way up the track. He has switched leads. He is moving the best. But maybe that 2-horse down on the rail is moving the best of all, Terry. Looks like it's going to go 2, 4, 671, 24671, something along those lines. So Terry with the trifecta to get started. The 2-horse, that's 7-1. Bid, Bad, and Bougie. Another fun thing to say, coming home your winner in race number 1.
All right.
Fox Horse Race Mafia Cryptic Codes for race 4. What race are we on now? We're on race 4, right?
We're just starting race 4, yeah.
Taking 1-2 with the 6 for the daily double. There you go with the 1-2. Way to go, William. That 2-horse coming home at a nice price for you. Lose, win number 2. Yeah, we saw that horse one there. Terry did have him in there. The next few races, stick with us, Adelina. We'll find some winners in there for you. We're on race 4?
Yep.
All right, so race number 4, Terry, tell us about it.
Okay, it's 7 furlongs, claiming race, $7,500 claiming price, purse $21,000 for 3-year-olds and upwards, which have never won 3 races.
This is the distance where speed is the least important at Parx. Only 16, 17% go wire to wire. The inside 3 horses do get a little bit of a bonus. 4 and out at discount. Again, the closer to the rail you are, the better. So inside speed in race number 4, again, is the way to the winner's circle. Terry, who has it?
Okay, well, in this race here, it looks like the 2 and the 5 show the most speed, and they could go head-to-head all the way to that quarter pole. That 5 has an overlay from about, 3 to 5 to 5 to 2. And then the 5 also has the, there's no par plus, but the 5 has an overlay. I already said that, didn't I?
Mm-hmm. Sure, all right.
Anyway, there are no par plus numbers, and then the 4, 5, and 1 show the C-zone numbers, especially at 4.
Mm-hmm. Looking at the race shape here for race number 4, we see that the 1-horse and the 5-horse, they can be up a little close. The 3 and 4 have not been within 5 lengths of the leader at the finish line. 2 and 6 want to close. This should be a race where if you get to the front, you got a good chance too. Mr. Moore, along with Connecting, really a lot of them in here have a chance to get to the front. So really probably come down to who makes the move in the middle and the late part of the race. Connecting does have the most late speed, although Mr. Moore will be right there as well. Big drop off after those 2. So maybe you just play the 5 and the 2 and move on. Terry, what did you do?
All right. Well, I like the 2 Connecting. He ran second versus similar in his last race. His best start speed is fast among today's starters. He's actually tied with another horse, and he has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Run and Block as my second choice, the 1-horse. He won his last race at Parx Racing, drops in class today, and has the highest last race speed rating. Mr. Moore as the 5 is my third choice. He finished third in his last race, has a high percentage winning jockey. Financial Strength, the 6, is the long shot. He can improve while returning to a sprint. His best spurt speed is fastest among today's starters. He's tied with the horse above that I talked about. And he has a trainer who wins 17% of all the claiming races he runs a horse in. And then second, Miami Vice pick 4, I'm going to use the 1-2 with the 1-3-6-8 with the 1-2-4-5 with the 1-2-4. It's a $48 ticket.
I'm going to go with the 5-horse. Mr. Moore is the top selection for me in race number 4. This is a track dropper, better early pace in its last. I like those track droppers at Parx. Number 1, Running Block, did run the top last race speed figure, and its history says the second race after layoff should be better than the first. Financial Strength, the last race was better than it looks. Similar fractions at 1 mile and a 16th, as it did at 6.5 furlongs the prior start. Cutting back in distance today should be useful. And then finally, the 2-horse, my final choice. Been close in the last 3 races, catching a weight break. That could be the difference, although I'm a little bit concerned that the horse has hit a couple of peak numbers in a row and could be set for some regression. What race do you play in the second race, right? Maybe because I don't understand English D. I don't know, that's a smile, right? So race number 2, we're going to go back to race number 2. Terry likes the 7, and I have the 1-horse. And then a little bit, Adelina, Terry will give you his best bet of the day. I have a horse I like a lot, too, at the end of the card, so we'll talk about that, too. I'm going to go with the 1-horse next, Mr. Terry, as my next choice in there. I did this already, right? Perfect. So now we're going to go off to my pick 4. I'm going to go with the 1-5 with the 1-5-8, the 4-5 with the 1, 2, 5, 6, and 7. Pick 4, right? I think I said pick 5.
Okay.
Probably because I had race number 5 on my mind.
That's
What's
right.
happening in the 5th?
It's going to be 6 furlongs, a claiming race, $5,000 claiming price, purse $18,000 for 3-year-olds and upwards, which have not won a race since January 1st.
And at 6 furlongs, speed does well, but tactical speed's probably the best. You want to be forward, but not necessarily on the lead. Although if you are the pace setter, 35% chance you're also the winner. It's a rail bonus for Gabe. 2 and 3 play fair. 4 and out, a discount. So again, inside 3 speed, Terry, could be beneficial in the 5th spot.
Yeah, that's true. But you can see there that the inside horse, the 1, and the outside horse, the 8, have the most speed. They could go head to head to the quarter pole if they both get a good break. The 4 has an overlay from 7-2 to 8-1, and the 8 has a very small overlay from about 3.5 to 1 to 4 to 1. And then none of them show any par plus numbers. All but the 4 show C zones, and they're all pretty good except for the 3.
Race 5, you see a lot of horses bunched towards the front. You got a lone PC horse here in the 5. So this handful, they decide to tear after it early on. The 5 could be well positioned. If they go too slow, it can just jump up into the mix as well. 2 and 4 want to close at the start. You do see from a pace standpoint, the 6 and the 8, those are your 2 speed horses. So maybe the 7, a little bit of fake speed. That one could become discouraged, although 7 is a part of the late picture. Por Supuesto is the fastest of them at the end, although going to be way off the pace here early on. At the end of the race, Jack Beanstalk, maybe the false speed horse in there, along with the 1 and 4, pretty tight in there. This race looks like, to me, Terry, it's pretty much wide open. That's the way I felt when I handicap it. That's what the top total pace numbers tell us. So we have some difference of opinion on top. What do you like?
Yeah, I like Gabe, the 1. He finished 3rd versus similar in his last race at Parx Racing as a favorite, but his trainer, high percentage winning trainer, wins 22% of the races when bringing a beaten favorite back to race again. The Relpos winning a 19% clip, and he switches to high percentage winning jockey Paco Lopez. And then 8, Captain Chaz is my second choice. He ran 2nd versus similar his last race, has the highest speed figure at today's distance. 6, Lord Ultra is my third choice. He likes Parx Racing. He's been in the money 47% of the time here. He's won 20% of those starts, and his distance won't be a problem as he's been in the money 41% of the time, winning 12% of those starts. And then the 3 is my long shot. His best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters, and he has a high percentage winning trainer. No additional bets for me here.
I'm going to begin off this race here, race number 5, with the 5 horse. Doing a little bit of our good friend Race Master's numerology. Star Weaver does have the most back class in this race. And as I look through all the previous starts, it's the only horse that showed any improvement last time out. So maybe it's a sign of life. While everybody else is regressing, this one's moving forward. So they're coming down, it's going up. Maybe it goes up to the top. Felt like this race was perfectly wide open. Gabe, the 1 horse, did run a Z pattern, so its early speed numbers were here. A little bit of a dip in the middle, and then a second wind down the stretch. Can close, can be forward, and going to have Paco Lopez in the irons today. Captain Chaz is making the 3rd start after a layoff. Should be out in the front of the field here, Terry, though he has a really hard time hanging on at the end. And then Jack Beanstalk. A lot of these other horses want to get out to the front. You should really enjoy this pace here as our top total pace horse. And it's the one that's likely to be coming the best at the end, just like we saw with that 2 horse in the opening race. The late legs coming through. Coming through from race 5 to race number 6 is what we're going to do as we make our way to the second half of the Parx card. Terry, fill us in on the details.
Yeah, it's a 6 furlong race again. It's an optional claiming race, $25,000 claiming price if you elect to put your horse in there to possibly be claimed. Purse $26,000 for 3-year-olds and upward, which have started for $16,000 or less, and which have never won 3 races, or claiming price of $25,000, or which have never won 3 races.
And the 6 furlong, as we mentioned in the last start, does belong to horses that have tactical speed. 35%, so a little more than 1 than 3 win wire to wire. Bit of a rail bonus for Bobby's Candy. 2 and 3 play fair, 4 and out. They get discounted. The closer you are again to the rail, the better off you are. Tactical speed will matter in race number 6, Terry. And A bunch of scratches, so only 4 horses. The fastest of the fast is on the sideline, so looks like anybody can get to the front.
That's right. Anybody can, because it's the 4, 5, and 2 show all the speed in here, and the 4 with the most speed. The 2 has an overlay from 2.5 to 1 to 5 to 1, and the 5 has an overlay from 8 to 5 to 4 to 1. All but the 4 show par plus numbers, and all the horses show C zones.
Again, short field, so maybe just play the odds, right? 2 on the front, 2 on the back. Well, it's going to be a duel between speed and closers. But there's really not that big of a gap between the closers and the front runners. So should be pretty tight. Maybe only Warriors Vow off the pace there, but should make up some ground in the later part of the race. Our top total pace horses in here are the 2 and the 4. They maybe get to the front, stay to the front with the 5 and the 1 chasing them around the track. How do you see it?
All right, in this race, I like that 4 chasing Stardom. He won his last start at Parx Racing, has the highest speed figure at today's distance, and a good high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Bobby's Candy, the 1, is my second choice. He finished 3rd versus 7 in his last race. Rail Post is winning at a 19% clip. He has the highest speed figure at today's distance, and his best start speed is fastest among today's starters. So a lot of boxes marked off. The 5 is my 3rd choice, Warriors Vow. Ran 2nd versus 7 in his last race, and he has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Caddy's Uncle, the 2, is my long shot. He ran 2nd versus similar in his last race, has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. No additional bets for me here.
In this shortened race, it's kind of up for grabs. I feel like the 4 horse is the most consistent performer in the group. In this case today, should be towards the front, and when he gets forward, that's when he does his best work. Warriors Vow is the only horse in the race that is not moving up in class. So he's been facing this level recently and did up his speed figure in the last 3 races. That angle hits at about 15% or more. Number 1, Bobby's Candy, been pretty solid at Parx everywhere but the winner's circle. 11 times out, only 1 win, but 5 seconds, 3/3. Likes the distance too. Again, doesn't find the winner's circle often, but does find the money. 6 races, 1 win, a couple of seconds, a couple of thirds. Someone's got to be 4th. Caddy's Uncle could win this too. Up her speed figure in the last 4 races. That's another alpha angle, and ran much better fractions last time out. So I think any one of these horses is really capable of winning in the short field. So maybe when the race comes, just take the one with the highest odds. Race 7 begins the last Don Johnson pick 4 for us, Terry. A little bit more distance in this one than the last 2.
Yeah, we're stretching out to 6.5 furlongs, optional claiming race, $25,000 claiming price. If you like to put your horse in there to possibly be claimed, purse $35,000 for 3-year-olds, which have started for $25,000 or less, and which have never won 2 races, or claiming price of $25,000, which have never won 2 races or claiming price of $25,000 for 3-year-olds.
So if you're watching on Twitter, we can use your help today. Kindly retweet the show right now so other folks can join us for the second half of this card in the late pick 4. Make sure you follow us and subscribe if you haven't done so. We always post some great information on Facebook as well. And right now, we're not advertising us because we are in the penalty box erroneously. It wasn't a foul ref, but if we're going to play some old-time hockey, we'll put some foil on and do Bobby Orr. Just a little bit of a slap shot reference there. In race 7, Terry, at 6.5 furlongs, what you're looking for, again, tactical speed. 3 out of 10, get to the lead, keep the lead, and run straight with the keys into the winner's circle. There is a big rail bonus for Warrior Ted. 2 and 3, they get discounted. 4 through 7, fair, 8 and out. A small discount as well. So it looks like 2 and 3 get pinched. Everything else is kind of fair. Again, tactical speed useful in the 7th race, Terry. And again, a race where just about everybody with a chance to get to the front.
They do, but the 7 shows the most speed. The 4 has the overlay of from about 7 to 5 to 4 to 1. And all but the 7 show par plus numbers. And all of them show C zones.
Yeah, so again, another race just on the paper. It looks like anybody can get the job done. We got everybody wants to be middle forward, so this should be a fast one. Don't blink, folks. As we see here in our pace setup, all of them within 2 points of each other, so really anybody can get to the lead. That means this race is going to be decided in all likelihood at the end. And Charlie Showtime, 10 points more late pace than everybody else coming off of its debut, so there's some room for that number to go up or down. It's also your top total pace horse in here, Terry, by about 12 points, so 2.5 lengths. Again, horse making its second career start. Maybe those numbers go up, maybe those numbers go down. You're expecting them to at least be as good.
I do. He won his debut race, and he has a high percentage winning trainer who wins 18% of the sprint races. He has and also has a high percentage winning jockey. Prom Night, the 2 is my second choice. Finished third versus similar his last race. Has a high percentage winning trainer. The 1 Warrior Ted is my third choice. He won his last race. The Rail Post is winning 22% clip, and he has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. My long shot's 5 Trumpet Call. He has a high percentage winning trainer, wins 25% of the races when taking a horse from a sprint to a route to a sprint, and he can improve, return into a sprint. My last pick 4, Don Johnson, Miami Vice, is 1, 2, 4, 5 with the 1, 4 with the 5, 12, 13, and finishing up with the 5, 6, 8, 10, $48 ticket.
All right. Well, for me, I'm going to start with that same 4 horse. It's my top selection in that race as well. That one is Charlie Showtime. A regular second race improvement should be enough to make him the winner. Again, if a horse is making its second start, you can add somewhere between 5 and 13 points. That means a speed figure would go to 89 to 97, and he's also going to carry 7 pounds less weight. So that speed should be even faster. As far as my second pick, in case that one doesn't improve, that's the 1 horse in here. Warrior Ted does get that rail edge, early speed in its last race. It does have 3 solid workouts in between. The 6, Jesus's Dream, is taking a big class drop in here, a neck away from winning the last 2 times he ran at this level. And finally, the 2 horse Prom Night just missed by a neck at a higher level in its last race and up the speed figure in both of her races after her debut. So just getting better and better and better. 1, 2, 4, 6 with the 4, 5 with the 1, 5, 10, 12, 13, and then the 5, 6 on the back end. Race 8 is where we're going to go next. Terry, take us through that one.
All right. It's a mile 70 yards, optional claiming race, $40,000 claiming price. Purse $52,000 for fillies and mares 3-year-olds and upward, which have never won 2 races other than a maiden claimant starter or state bred, or which had never won 3 races or a claiming price of $40,000.
$170 was how the day started at Parx, and usually speed does well. And the horses that got to the front really couldn't hang up down there. So we saw the closer come in and win that first one. Although most of the time, over 40% of the time, those horses that do get in the front stay in the front. A bit of a rail discount for Dancing on My Own. 2 and 3, a bit of a bonus. 4 through 7, a discount. 8 and out, a bonus. So a little bit of an according effect where the post positions have their best chances of success. Only 4 races, 4 horses in this race too, because of all the scratches, Terry. And again, that really tilts the table towards one that has a lot of speed.
That's right. That 4 shows all the speed in the world. If it can get out of that gate with no problems, should be getting to that quarter pole first, and I think go all the way. The 4 also has the overlay from about 3 to 5 to 6 to 5, and the 4 and the 1 show the par plus numbers. All of them show C zones, especially the 4.
Mm-hmm. Race shape in a shortened field tells us that, the 1 horse, Dancing on My Own, could be a lone E, although the 3 and 4, some flexibility. Mia Tosca, that one wants to close. At the beginning, does look like, if we sort them correctly, respectfully, a little bit quicker than Dancing on My Own, a little bit quicker than Mary Q, a little bit quicker than Mia Tosca. So they should just line up like that right down the track. As they come down the stretch for home, respectfully, not only the horse with the most early speed, but also the horse with the most late speed. Can't pass, but you can't catch. And they stay in that order. So maybe they run 4, 1, 5, 3 all the way around the track, Terry. What do you think?
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I think the 4 is going to win this, and it's my pick of the day at Parx. She finished in the money in 6 out of her last 8 races, winning 4 of those. And she has a high percentage winning jockey and trainer. The 1, Dancing on My Own, is my second choice. Finished third in his last race, or her last race. Her early speed running style will help her chances, and she has a bullet workout on June 25th. The 5, Mia Tosca, is my third pick. She won her last race, switches to high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Mary Q, the 3, is my long shot. She likes Parx racing. She's been in the money 62% of the time, winning 38% of those races, and the distance won't cause any problem. That she's won 2 races out of 2 starts at today's distance. I'm going to play $6 to win on number 4, and it's $5 exacta from 4 to the 1-5.
I think the 4-horse probably does win, Terry. He gets to the lead, probably never gives it up. That's probably the route to the winner's circle for Respectfully. It's also a green go horse. Green, 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 and go to the winner's circle. Number 5, Jamie Ness claims this one last time out. Mia Tosca. Jamie wins 31% of the time off the claim. This horse is making his second start after a layoff, and the dynamic duo getting together again, like the Blues Brothers, Jake and Elwood Blues, with Jamie Ness and Ruben Silvera. They've been a solid team. Number 1, Dancing on My Own. If it could just rerun the race it ran 2 races ago, could be your winner in here. Upset Terry's top pick. And looking at that one, been a fan of the distance 2-3 times out, a win in a couple of seconds. Then Mary Q. Someone's got to be 4th out of 4. A lot of bold black type in front of this horse. It means a lot of these other horses that have been in this race have beaten this one more often than not, although every now and then Mary Q surprises and puts some of them in the rearview mirror. We have a little bit of time left. We can probably do race number 9, and then we'll have to move off to do race number 2, and then we'll be back to do race number 10. So, Terry, take us through the conditions in the beginning of the late daily double.
Okay, it's a 1/16. It used to be on the turf, but now it's only a mile, and it's on the regular dirt. It's an optional claiming race, $16,000 claiming price, purse $50,000. For 3-year-olds and upwards, which have never won a race other than maiden claiming starter or state bred, or which have never won 2 races or any claiming race for $16,000.
So since they moved off to the turf to 1 mile on the dirt, it's just 1 lap around the track. If you look at 1 mile on the track there, Terry, early speed does well. Unless one's staying at a mile and a 16th. Yes. So at a mile and a 16th on the early speed on the track, still early speed wins 41% of the time. It goes wire to wire. Big time rail bonus for Swift Tap. 2 through 7 play fair, 8 and out as a penalty. Next race is going to be a mile, so I got a little bit ahead of myself. All right, Terry, in race number 9 with all these scratches, who's going to get to the front?
Well, the 1, 12, and 5 show all the speed in there, but the 1 shows the most speed, followed up by that 12. The 5 has an overlay from about 7 to 5 to 3 to 1, and the 10 has an overlay from 7 to 2 to 12 to 1. The 5, 10, and 13 show the only par plus numbers, and all but the 5 show C zones.
Race shape for the shortened race in the 9th race. We see here that the 1 horse wants to be on the front. Everybody else middle back. You do get some versatility with the 13 in here. So as we see when the race gets started, it does look like maybe 12 Colville with Paco Lopez could jump to the front of the 1, although he's almost all the way to the outside of a lot of horses that have some similar early speed. The 1, if it wants to lead, should be able to get the lead. Looking at the late speed Sophos, that one's a lot faster than everybody else, but also going to be way off the pace. Kingsville, another one that should be closing in here. Your top total pace horse is that 10, Kingsville. It's a little bit better than Swift Tap, which is a little bit better than Sophos, which is a little better than Chilonian. Big of a drop off there for the rest of those horses in here, Terry. Although coming to here, you only have 7 points separating worst to first. You got the 1 at the bottom of the pack at the top of your picks. Tell me why.
Well, I like Colville because he ran second versus Simmer on the dirt in his last race at Parx Racing. He has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. And then I like 13. He has a high percentage winning jockey. Then the 5 is my third pick choice. He comes in after winning his last race at Laurel to try Parx Racing for the first time. Has a high percentage winning trainer, Jamie Ness. And then the 1, Swift Tap, my long shot, won his last race at Parx Racing. And at today's distance, and the rail post is winning at a 32% clip.
So I'm going to start off with that 1 horse. Usually has early pop. We can see here likely to be a part of the pace setters. And last time out, did show some stakes level late pace. If he can put A plus B equals C. Chilonian, the 5 horse, this one's going to drop in class. Did run the top last race speed figure last time out. Your strongest par plus horse in there for Jamie Ness. That speed figure was 3 points better than anything else. Cupid's Dude has the most upside in this race. There's no doubt about that, Terry. Very consistent performer, but the trainer doesn't run very many and doesn't win very many. And then finally, Colesville, you got to think that Paco had a choice because he rode the 12 and the 13. He picked this one, just missed in its last race, and that's where Paco's going to ride today. So but his numbers are a little bit lower than everybody else's in terms of his speed figure ability. Race number 2 about to get going. Right now, your favorite is the 4 horse. That one is 1-1, Sensible Jim. Next up on the board there is the 1 horse. Another one getting bet down from 8-1 to 3-1. And then the 7 horse, that's 7-2. The 2 horse is 4-1. Looking at our value play here, it looks like the 7, Wizard Surratt, is the value at 7-2 or 3-1 instead of our odds of 9-5. And they're all lined up. I'm kind of hoping I can steal one here, Terry, because I only got 2 horses. The 1 horse gets off to an easy lead there, Mr. Terry. Doesn't look like he worked very hard at all. The 5, right to its outside, singing through the storm, but he's kind of up the track a little bit. The 7 and the 4, they're taking in the second tier of horses with the 4 horse, trying to crowd up on there. Looks like the 1's really trying to slow the tempo. He's gotten bet down to 3-2 from 8-1. Kind of interesting in there. And then you got a huge gap way back to that 2 horse, Sugai Star. I don't know. Is it common now that they're not posting times anymore? Because I saw on the weekend too when I was watching races, they weren't putting the fractions up. And they go down the backstretch. The 1 and the 5 are duking it out. The 4 and the 7 sitting right there in the 3rd and 4th. And the 5 horse has dipped his nose in front of the 1. So 1 horse's day may be done, although he's trying to engage that horse again. 4 horse right now is moving pretty well, but the 5 horse is moving the best of them all, Mr. Terry. Looks like the 7 horse is the one that's going to try to run them down, although the 4 horse at 1-1 is continuing to be in there. Yeah, it looks like they're all going to come right back by this horse again. Kind of interesting how they run. I saw a really weird race like that yesterday too at Belmont, where a horse gave up the lead and then just came back to win. Yeah. So right now, it looks like the 5 horse is the one to beat. He still continues to hang on. The 4 and the 1 are digging. I don't know they're going to catch that guy at the end. I think that 5 horse, the only one you don't have, Terry.
Yeah.
And the one I have is my 4th pick. It's going to go 5, 7, 1, 4. 5, 7, 1, 4. 15-1, the longest shot on the board there, or 8-1 coming home as your winner. Get to the front, stayed on the front.
Yeah,
should have went 4 horses there.
Should have dropped a horse off that last race, put that 5 in there. I thought about doing that.
Yeah, interesting how that works. I mean, so far today, interesting that the horses that are getting to the front, that one stayed in there, but everybody else kind of behind them, kind of lagging a little bit.
Yeah.
So, all right, so here's going to be another horse race for you. I know that was kind of not so good right there so far, Adelina. Stay with us, all right? We're going to get there because Terry has his best bet of the day. Win Place Show 271, 5 horse coming in. All right, the last race of the day is race number 10, Terry. I feel like there's a horse with a tactical advantage in this race. Was supposed to be 7.5 furlongs, but they changed it to what?
Yeah, they changed it, took it off the turf, and I guess it went up to what, a mile? Yeah, 1 mile. And it's for maiden race, $50,000 purse for maidens, fillies, and mares 3-year-olds and upward.
And then at a mile on the main track, you're looking for horses that have some early speed, 45%. So really changed the dynamics of this race because the turf track, really favored horses coming from off the pace. Big royal bonus for Peach T, my doggy. 2 and 3 play fair. 4 through 7 under par. The best place to be is 8 and out, and that is for the mile on the dirt. So we're looking for speed, Terry. Outside speed's probably better than inside speed. Does look like the speed is going to be, well, on the inside now with all the scratches, and it looks like another real fast one.
Yeah, the 1 shows plenty of speed. Oh, no, it's the 5. I'm sorry. The 5 shows plenty of speed in there. So it should get there in first place. The 10 shows an overlay from almost 3-1 to 9-2. The 10 and the 8 show the par plus numbers, and all but the 8 show C zones.
I think, Adelina, I would, I don't know what your betting style is, but I would certainly suggest that look for some of the races where we feel stronger about horses. Race 2, my 6 scratch is taking 1 to win in race number 2. Exactly 17157 with the super 1715. Yeah, the 5 horse unfortunately screwed us all up, William. Wonder why a little bit delay in that there. If you're watching us for the first time on Twitter, please follow us on Twitter. Help us grow our community there. Retweet. That really helps us grow. Head on over to Horse Racing Radar TV on YouTube if you haven't done so, or if you're watching on YouTube, kindly hit the subscribe button as well. You can see down there below all of our handles are at Horse Race the number 2 day on X, formerly known as Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. The only one with a different name is YouTube at Horse Racing Radar TV. All right, Terry. We do see that 5 horse got all that early speed. Does he have all that early speed? He is the lone E here too with the 10 on the outside there. Looking at the early speed, that one has a 3-length advantage over everybody else in there, Terry. The end, they're all kind of bunched up. Nobody with a real big advantage. The 1 horse with that early speed, the 5 horse, it's your top total pace horse. You can go out and run decent fractions like we just saw the 5 horse do. Maybe it's another 5 horse that wins. Terry, what do you say?
I like 6 Kindred Hearts. She has a bullet workout on June 24th, and blinkers are added today. The 10 Eclair Blanc is my second choice. Finished in the money in 3 out of the last 4 starts. Bossy Kate, the 8's my third choice. She has a high percentage winning jockey. And then that 5 is my long shot, has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. I'm out of money, so I can't make any other bets.
I think the 5 horse just has too much early speed for everybody with all the scratches in this race. It was already the fastest anyway. Everybody else with some speed scratched out. I think he gets to the lead and he doesn't give it up at maybe a decent price too. Kindred Hearts, the 6 horse, is next up for me. Room to be better in the second start after a layoff, and does have its best workouts of its career between races. Eclair Blanc, the 10, it can run or rerun the only race it had at 1 mile on the Parx track. That would be enough. And then finally, the 1 horse Peachtree does have the rail edge and some early pop to go with it. I'm going to do a $5 exacta. Maybe something you could think about, Paulina, a little bit, Adelina, a little bit less money. But a $5 exacta with the 5 over to 1,610. The 5 goes off at a nice price. Could make more than $100 back. Here are our top total pick. Here are our picks for the rest of the day. In race number 1, I think the 2 horse won, right, Terry?
Yeah, I think so.
And then race number 2, the 5 horse won.
It did.
So it looks like maybe it could be a good day for 5s down the board. At least that's kind of what I'm hoping for. In race number 3, Paulina, Terry, and I both like the 5 horse. It does look like in race number 3, the 5 horse is your favorite at 6-5. Again, that one's been off for 10 months with some questions to answer, though. Terry's best bet of the day is in race number, what race number, Terry?
Number 9. No,
race
8.
9?
8.
And he likes that 4 horse. And in race number 10, I'm going to take a shot with that 5 horse in there as that really fast horse with a bunch of other slow guys in there. We'll be back again tomorrow for Parx. We certainly hope you'll join us again at the same time. Wednesday, we might do Parx 3 days in a row. We may do Delaware. We haven't made up our mind. We'll make up our mind on that and tell you tomorrow. Of course, Thursday is the 4th of July in the United States. We'll be off that day barbecuing, celebrating the independence of our country. And then on Friday, Tom and I will be back. I forget where he said we're going to run, but I know it's in England. So we'll do some English racing on Friday. We've been hot on Foreign Fridays too, so make sure you tune in for all of that. Any final thoughts from you, Terry, before we go?
Yeah, if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please subscribe and hit that little bell so that you're notified whenever we come on board with shows. Go down and copy the link and share it with all your friends, relatives, everybody you know, so they can come and check us out too. Go to our social sites at Horse Race, the number 2 day. Give us a thumbs up and a like on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, X, Threads, and retweet us on the tweet one, which is what? X? Yeah.
Formerly known as Twitter, yes. It's the prince of social media. As far as the rest of this day is concerned, again, you want some more picks tonight, Adelina. There are free picks for Mountaineer Park tonight down in the description below. You can use that. Also, there's a link to horseracingtoday.net where we will post all of our thoughts and a recap of the show. While you're there, hit the HRT gear button, hook yourself up with a great red number 1 hat or an even better blue number 3. And then that's it, folks, for today. Thanks for joining us as always, no matter what it is that you're doing today. Certainly, we hope that you treat each other the way you want to be treated. You have God's grace and God's favor in all your endeavors. And Adelina, from this point forward, we hope that all of your picks today end up in
the winner's circle.
Indeed. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow. Make it a fantastic Money Monday.